So it's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by unbeaten heavyweight Christian Thun. How are you doing?
Thank you, Danny. I'm very well. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. I hope I pronounced your surname correctly. I've watched a few YouTube videos and there seems to be a consensus.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, in German you would say, like you said it, Thun. But I guess in English you might say it's Thun. I don't mind. You can pronounce it. One of the two is fine.
You've actually spent quite a lot of time in the UK, I believe, including getting your university degree here.
Yes, I did. I spent close to 10 years in the UK. Yeah. I lived in East London, and I boxed as an amateur for the Peacock Amateur Boxing Club in East London. So I've had a really great time growing up in England, and not only great time, was really a big part of my life. I'd say. I moved there when I was 13, so I finished some part of my school in there, and I started to box there. My first amateur fight in there, and it was really a big, like a developing part of my life, I'd say.
I'm actually going to the new premises of the Peacock Gym tomorrow for a shoot.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Who are you going to shoot with? Denzel?
Yeah, Denzel, Martin Bowers, Louis Lin, Chris Bork.
Yeah. Well, when you see all the boys there, say a massive hello from me.
Yeah,
Martin,
no, I will.
Martin, I know Martin since probably close to 10, 12 years now, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Very good people, good family. Yeah. They've always been very good to me. Great gym, great people, really.
And where in East London were you based when you were over here?
So I lived in quite a few places. I lived in Canning Town. I lived in Isle of Dogs. I lived in Royal Victoria Dogs. I lived in, like pretty much all over. It's like E14 to E16 area.
Yeah, I grew up in East London, but closer to the city.
Okay, where?
Stepney Green.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I remember I used to take the DLR train always, across all Poplar and all that. Good memories, actually, thinking back now. I really miss my times in the UK and London.
Well, hopefully we'll see you back at some point to compete.
Yeah, 100%. I would love to really fight in the UK. To be honest, I grew up close to the O2 Arena. Like I used to run around all this area where the O2 Arena is, the Excel Center is. I used to go for my runs there, and I always used to dream of fighting in the UK. I grew up watching the local fights at York Hall and Bethnal Green. All like the proper hardcore events, and it's truly my dream to fight in, of course, the O2 Arena and in England in front of the British fans, which to some extent arguably are the best boxing fans in the world, I would say.
Well, obviously, I'm going to agree with you on that point.
Yeah.
How did you first get into the sport, and what age were you?
Okay, so I got into, to be honest, I just walked into the Peacock Gym, and I kind of got hooked to it. I said I just wanted to, just do a bit of boxing, this and that. And I remember I walked in there for the first time wearing camouflage trunks, white Air Max, and started boxing. And I was like about, 16 years old, right? Like 6'8", 260 pounds. They looked at me, my God, who's this guy with camouflage all over, white Air Max, throwing wide hooks and whatnot. They just thought I was out of control. But they saw that I was dedicated, and I trained hard. And soon later, I had my first amateur bout. Funny enough, at York Hall, actually, believe it or not. And then, I had a good amateur career. Most of my fights were in England. That's it.
How many did you have in total?
49. I had 49 amateur fights.
Oh, wow.
49 amateur fights with 6 losses, yeah.
That's a pretty good record.
I boxed in the ABAs. Unfortunately, I lost against Joyce in 2013 ABA London final. And 2013 or 12 or 14, I don't remember, but around that time. And then I had some fights in England. I also boxed in the 2013 in the Harringay Box Cup, which I actually won. And I've done all the things which the amateur boys in the UK do, and it was a great part of my I'd say of the building of my boxing.
And where did you do your degree, and what was it in?
I studied in London Metropolitan University, and I had a degree in business.
Wow. And was that always something in the back of your mind to, you know, after boxing or whatever?
Well, to some extent, yes. I mean, you know, I, yeah, to some extent, yeah. I just thought that I might as well do it. You know, we're lucky enough that in the UK, you know, studying at university is rather cheap, I would say. You know, compared to like what it is here in America. I have some friends in America. They were talking to me yesterday. They are $350,000 in debt to
Wow.
study. You know, I pay $3,000 a year, £3,000 a year. So, you know, I've said as well, I might as well do it. And it allowed me to somewhat, you know, like be flexible. It's not like, you know, I had to attend much. It was more like, you know, it was quite easy. Say it allowed me to work actually and to train as well. And at the end of the day, I come from a family of hardworking people, and there is, you know, there was no excuse for not doing your best always.
And how have you ended up in America now and being based over there?
Okay, so it's a good question actually. So I signed my first professional contract, I'd say, with a gentleman from France, from Monte Carlo to be precise, and he's had a setup with a coach in Sweet Home, Alabama, actually. So I landed there for the first, I would say, year of my pro career. I was like on and off training there. And then essentially we, you know, as it goes in boxing, we fall apart to some disagreements. And then I moved back to Europe for about half a year, just trying to figure out what I would do. I was also thinking to move back to the UK, to London. But then I ended up actually in America again. Once again, I moved then to Miami, and I started to work with my new manager. The company is called Legacy Sports Management. They're out of Germany and out of LA and out of Dubai. They have 3 offices, and I'm really happy with what, you know, has been going on since. And yeah, I live, well, pretty much I would say my home is in Miami, but we are really quite a lot in Vegas as well right now, and in California and LA, because my current management has, you know, like a whole infrastructure there where I can train and you know, I can essentially go after my dream to become a boxer. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And tell us about your current trainer and how you guys got together.
So my current trainer, we are actually training together since not that long, actually, probably since about 2 months. His name is Michael Holbert. He's from the UK, actually, from London, from North London. And we met in Miami pretty much, I would say, just before this COVID thing started. And then, you know, we started to train a little bit, but more as like a, you know, like an after time kind of training, you know, not much really like every day. And then COVID hit, which once again stopped the entire thing. And then he said to be in England for some time, etc. And once he came back to Miami, we done a session together, and then I said, okay, that's it. You know, he's opened an entire new. He brought like an update to the computer. You know, he downloaded like an update. You know, the boxing which I was doing before was so limited. You know, where he really brought a whole new encyclopedia to the classroom. You know, like boxing 2.0, and that's what, you know, now we've been working on. We're working together now since, well, it's probably, let's be close to 3 months right now. We're seeing, you know, what he's teaching me. I'm slowly, you know, showing it in the ring, and I look forward to show it in my next fight.
As well as learning from your trainer, I believe you've sparred probably some of the best heavyweights of the last 10, 15 years. Is it right? You sparred Klitschko, Joshua, and Fury?
And Wilder.
And Wilder.
I mean, to be honest, I think.
So, Christian, you were just telling us about some of the top names you've sparred over the last kind of 5 years or so. Just elaborate on that if you don't mind.
Yeah, I was really lucky when I was still an amateur. I got invited to spar with Wladimir Klitschko for the Joshua fight, actually. And I've had 2 weeks there, probably sparred close to 30 rounds with Wladimir, which was the first real reality check, because it was the first, I'd say, big name which I really sparred. And I just realized how complex this whole boxing thing can get. He was just doing 2 fingers, just sticking his left hand out, just putting the big right hand after. But he mastered that so well that it was so difficult to get around it. Then I've recently been sparring with AJ just in February now. I was in the UK for about a month.
That's the Pulev fight, right?
Yeah, well, it was, to be honest, it was more just like, it wasn't really planned on any, like, he didn't have a fight yet. It was just for him just to get some sort of work.
Right.
I was also in Pulev camp in October in Sheffield. When I sparred him in February, it was in Finchley. So, yeah, it was all like, I've really learned a lot from all these guys. And I've seen many other fighters when they go to these camps, they go there and they have somewhat of a hostile attitude towards, the trainers, the fighters and all that, But then as soon as they finish training, they run home and, they want to act like the tough part and whatnot. But then they go home and they spend hours on YouTube looking at Joshua throwing his backhand or Fury doing his slips or whatever, And I'm just thinking it's so stupid. Why is I'm there in these training camps? I'm there like a sponge trying to learn and asking questions and not worrying about being, like annoying asking questions. I truly want to improve. And I believe that's also their mindset. The better I get, especially in this sparring session, the better they get. So I've really been lucky to have a lot of good experience sparring everybody. I sparred Luis Ortiz for the Deontay Wilder fight. I sparred Wilder for the Fury 1 fight. So of course, Fury now. I just sparred Tyson a couple of days ago, who's, to be honest, my, how can I say, who resembles most the style that I have and whom I try to learn the most from. That makes somewhat of sense. He's really tall, we're about the same height, with the same type of body abilities, I would say, and it's just great to really be learning from him and, also the people around him.
Do you worry that you might be bad luck in that, Ortiz lost, Wilder drew, and Klitschko lost after sparring you?
Well, but on the other hand, AJ, he's also won quite a few times.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, but I've been bad luck for Wilder, which he's fighting right now. So let's hope it goes the same way.
How does all this come about? So you're obviously looking to learn, they're looking for good sparring, but how does it all come together?
To be honest, the Klitschko camp, it came together because I had relations to a gentleman called Tom Löffler. He was or is the CEO of, I believe, King Promotions.
Yeah.
K2, yeah. And then, he just said, just go down there and just spar for a week. And they actually kept me there for one more week, so for 2 weeks. And since then, pretty much people, they kind of get to know you and they see you and then they're like, oh, who's that big guy, etc., etc. Once that you go there, they'll call you back for sparring, etc. It's more a thing of putting your face out there. And once that you are, I'm 6'9", so I'm hard to be missed. They'll always notice me more or less. So yeah.
It's very rare that Tyson Fury gets in the ring with someone of a similar height and reach as him. So what were those sparring sessions like? I imagine, I could be wrong, that they were quite cagey, quite, patient.
Well, he's a master at what he does, So truly, needless to say, he did outbox me. However, I did give, I did challenge him. I would say a little cagey for perhaps the first few rounds. They were just great learning experience for me and great experience for him to really have somebody his size in front, probably the first time in a long time, Played the sparring session.
And I guess the obvious question, well, actually, no, we'll delay that for a minute, but when you were in camp with Fury, obviously quite recently, had the Wilder fight been announced at that point, or was it still not sure who he was going to fight next?
No, it was not yet. It was not yet really announced. It was, to be honest, we just happened to be in the same gym. So we're training alongside each other and it wasn't really his main camp yet. We're just there training with each other, I would say.
And did you?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, did you get the impression from him that he was looking forward to fighting Joshua? Because everyone thought that was going to happen until the arbitration.
100%. It's been clearly said in training camp or in the gym that he was truly upset that the Joshua fight didn't happen. I can guarantee you 100%, I guarantee to all the fans listening that he wanted this fight to happen. He wanted the Joshua fight to happen. This wild arbitration just came out of nowhere, and he's had to obey the arbitration to some extent to then go ahead for the Joshua fight. So 100%, the AJ fight was planned, but the Wilder fight just came out of nowhere, and he has to do that.
So now for the obvious question. You've sparred both Fury and Joshua, both within the last 12 months. So you're the most current measuring stick, if you like. Who wins that fight should it actually take place?
Okay, so let's put it this way. Both of these athletes are absolutely phenomenal. They are both just so good at what they do. I truly cannot say who would win that fight. It's like comparing the fastest Lamborghini with the fastest Ferrari. They're all gonna have their days or whatever. So it's a fight which I truly look forward to see, and actually I can't wait to see. And may the best man win. I can really not say who's going to win that. I believe anybody who says, "Oh, Fury or AJ is gonna win that," how do you know? It's impossible to know. You know what I mean? It's such a good fight that it's nobody can really say, "Oh, he's going to win." For example, if you say who's going to win, Tyson Fury against Lucas Browne, the guy who I'm fighting next, I will strongly suggest and vouch for Tyson Fury. I would say Tyson Fury will beat Lucas Browne 10 out of 10. But Fury AJ is just such a big fight that I can really not say anything who's going to win.
Well, let's talk about your fight with Lucas Browne. It's on July the 10th out in Dubai.
Yeah.
Now, normally a 6-0 prospect going up against a former WBA champion, you'd be considered a big underdog. But Lucas Browne's fortunes in the last few fights haven't been what they used to be. Is this a case of good timing on your part?
Okay, so let's put it this way. Regardless of Lucas Browne's last performances, I believe he's still a massive threat, because in my 7th fight, I should be fighting, as they say, a cab driver from Bosnia or somebody kind of thing. Yeah. But we're actually fighting a plumber from Australia. So
I've seen you do the plumber impression on the video.
Lucas, you big stiff plumber from Brisbane. Sign the contract. You got what you want. Sign the contract.
Sign the contract, Lucas. Got a big boy here for you. Big Christian.
This way, it's definitely a massive step up. I highly regard and respect Lucas Browne for everything that he's achieved in boxing. Let's not forget that he's actually a late starter and late bloomer. And let's not forget that he went to Chechnya to defeat Ruslan Jagayev for the WBA regular world title in 2014, 15. He got off the canvas and knocked out Jagayev in the 9th or 10th round or something in his home turf in Chechnya, which probably is the most hostile place on earth you can fight in to be a broadband fighter. He's then defeated other, I would say, prospects like Richard Towers back in the day in his own home turf. He's really done quite a few just things, let's put it this way, in boxing. He's definitely a tough man that can bang. He's a man with a lot of pride. So we're not finished or whatnot. Therefore, this is going to be a really exciting fight, because we have a somewhat aged, powerful, brave, tough champion going against a young, starving, up-and-coming prospect. So it's going to be exciting, and both can punch. I mean, I'm talking for myself right now. We can both punch. It's going to be really a clash of styles as well, because I'm more like to move a little bit, like to box a little bit. He's gonna be, bulldozing forward, swinging big right hands and whatnot. It's truly an exciting fight. I mean, I'm speaking now. I have ringside tickets, as they say, because I'm gonna be fighting myself. But if I'd be a fan, I'd really be excited to actually watch this fight. I'd be more excited to watch this fight than most other heavyweight bouts, to be honest.
Well, you're doing a great job of selling it. I can tell you that.
Thank you, Dan.
No, no problem. You're often called, and I've seen this on a number of different articles, the new Klitschko.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because obviously you want to make a name for yourself in your own
Sure.
right, but he is a legend.
Sure. I mean, to be compared to Klitschko, for the one, of course, it's flattering, as they say, but I don't want to be the second next Klitschko or the next Fury, anybody. I want to be the first Christian Thun with my own legacy, my own flaws, my own strengths, my own things, you know. This is what I'm really looking forward to be. And I'm, in many ways, I'm nowhere near comparable to Wladimir Klitschko. My style is totally different. My attitude is totally different. Yeah, we do have, you know, like brown hairs and brown eyes, I believe. But I believe, and somewhat, we're both somewhat tall, but I believe that's somewhat it. That's it pretty much, you know. He's definitely great. I mean, he's had more world title defenses than I've had probably hot dinners. You know what I mean? So he's a remarkable champion. I mean, a boxing world, he's truly a bad boy, as they say. But I'm truly looking forward to have my own career and, you know, my own legacy.
I should say you just pronounced your own name just then, Thun. So I'm going to consider you a British person like me.
Okay, exactly. Perfect. I can live with that.
Good. Now, before I let you go, just tell people out there who want to know you a bit better, follow you more closely, how they can find you on the different social media platforms. Okay,
so I'm actually active only on Instagram. My name is Christian Thun _official. Please do give us a follow. I'm very active on Instagram. We've also responding to fans, people that write me, etc. So do give us a follow. Do get in touch. I always like to hear from you guys. Thank you for your support. At the end of the day, I truly do it for the fans. Actually, my last fight, I fought in an empty gym due to COVID, and I was in the ring yawning before the fight. I said, "Oh my God, you gotta step out of this right now." And I truly look forward to fight now, you know, in front of some fans again, and you know, to get that excitement. The fans really energize me. So yeah, I do look forward to see you guys again.
Brilliant. We look forward to it also. Hopefully we can catch up in the UK sometime soon. But for now...
Danny, absolutely. Thank you so much. Say hello to all the boys at the Peacock tomorrow, to Martin and Denzel and everyone.
I will do. I will do.
Thanks so much.
Christian.
Thank you, Danny. Have a good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.